I think I've got another one coming in from Australia. What is a good way, or several ways, to get back in flow when you have been pulled out of it? Well, first of all, I think it's incredible when we realize that we're out of it. Sometimes, again, we know we're out of it because it's so clear because everything's not functioning. But I think the real trick is to see when we start to get out of flow at the very beginning, and it usually starts with a thought or something from our external environment that triggers us to have a thought. And a lot of times I like to talk about it as the rabbit hole, the power of our minds to create our lives, but it's also the power of our minds to drive us into this circuitous loop of thoughts that takes us deep into this rabbit hole and deep into these storylines that are no longer serving us. So it could be a story that's happening for us or an external environment thing that's happening for us where we just find ourselves in a mind mess and we're not able to be in that flow. So how do we get back in flow? We have to get back to the mind. We have to get back to breaking through our mind being in the driver's seat and getting our soul in the driver's seat and our mind in the back seat, the ego mind. And there's lots of different tips, tools, and techniques. I mean, sometimes it's easy. Sometimes we can flip the switch right away and we can get ourselves back on track and get back into the flow. And sometimes we can't, because sometimes we've spent a long time leading up to getting ourselves out of that flow. And so it's really a matter of what works for you. There's a lot of different modalities and tips and tools that I talked about in the book. I also have a lot in the Awakening and Healing Handbook that I think can help get you in and out of the flow. So there's lots of tools there. So I don't know if there was any specific one that this person was asking for, but it was mostly just to get back in the flow when you have been pulled out of it. Yeah. So number one, recognize that you're starting to see yourself pull out of it, so that you're not in full throttle out of it. Start mind monitoring. Just, what's going on in my mind? What thoughts are circling? What thoughts do I want to stop? And what thoughts do I need to start? That's a really good way to start seeing where your thoughts are at. So I think that would be the real thing I would say in the beginning, not knowing what this individual's situation was or being able to comment a little bit more. But it's always about breaking through your beliefs and getting to the core of what is that core thought that's causing you that trigger, that's getting you into a spin and out of your heart and into your mind, which is why you're thinking these circuitous thoughts that get you out of the flow.